MTGME, this is Charles. We're going to look at the Counter Surge Challenger deck. So this was just released yesterday, beginning of April, and it is a black-green counters-based strategy. Now, the Challenger decks are designed to be relatively competitive, out-of-the-box standard decks to take to your local Friday Night Magic or other events. Already, like one day into the release of these new decks, you're seeing a lot of stories and threads on Reddit and other online forums about people's positive experiences with the decks, and that was pretty much a given based on what we knew was in these decks. So let's just take a quick look at this one, and yeah, all right, let's go. So I previously made a comment about how these looked very similar to the old event decks, and even though they may have replaced other segments in like sets that Magic's currently being released, I think that's probably their closest spiritual successor. And when we first saw the boxes, I thought they were roughly the same size as the original event decks, but now I can see that they're slightly larger. So for comparison, here's a 2014 core set event deck. So yeah, it is slightly deeper, about the same height overall. Then the contents overall should be basically the same as well. We should get a 60 card main board and then a sideboard. Spin down counter, nice little insert, keep everything from moving. Spin down life counter. The box does seem slightly better. Let's take another look at the... So comparing this to the 2014 core set event deck, definitely shallower as we said. The lack of an insert for the die is a little unusual, although you could fit more dice in this way. Again, the slotted box is an advantage. The new box feels like slightly more rigid, although the front of the lip is a little bit narrower, where the 2014 core set was actually undercut. Alright, so let's check out our inserts. So we have a divider, quick reference card, and then this tiny little Challenger deck insert. So unfortunately it doesn't include a deck list or anything on the insert. That's something that I still miss in these newer products when they haven't been including them. Again, as a cost-saving measure, however, it makes sense that it's not in there. Let's take a look at the sideboard. So in the sideboard, we've got a copy of Dispossess, 2 Lifecrafters Bestiary, a couple of Die Youngs, 3 copies of Cartouche of Ambition, 4 copies of Duress, 2 copies of Appetite for the Unnatural, and a Slice in Twain. So a little bit of a toolbox of options to deal with various other strategies. Now in the main board, start off with a pretty big hitter and a single copy of Walking Ballista. Very good inclusion. 4 copies of Glint-Sleeve Siphoner. Again, this can be a pretty solid engine card in the deck. A couple Scrap Heap Scroungers. Good for the recursion. 3 copies of Rishkar Pima Renegade. Puts additional counters to your other creatures, helps you ramp into your threats. We got 3 Dream Stealers, 2 copies of Gonti, Lord of Luxury. This is nice. 3 copies of Virtuous Gear Hulk. 2 copies of Hour of Glory, very good removal. And the uncommon slots, we got 4 Long Tusk Cubs, very strong card in Counter Surge. 4 Winding Constrictors, another great include. 4 Blossoming Defense, very nice. You get 2 Walk the Planks, then the value include Fatal Push. Got 4 Aether Hubs. Got some budget land cards, Foul Orchard for mana fixing. A couple Hash Up Oasises, getting that extra damage. And our Swamps and our Forests. I mean, so overall the deck looks pretty good. I'm currently debating whether or not to take this or another deck to our store championship event. I'm currently building like a Mono Green Stompy deck for my wife Julia, but she also does kind of like this style of deck. So we could go either way. And if we do happen to take it to F&M, I'll be sure to do sort of a wrap-up or an update, at least in the comments, possibly as a video, talk about how the experience went. All right, that's the Green-Black Counter Surge Challenger deck, and thanks for watching.